Hi everybody, this is Adam Gussow from Modern Blues Harmonica, and this is a video entitled 5 More Cool Riffs for Beginning Blues Harmonica Players. The first 3 of these riffs do not require bending. The 4th and 5th do. We're going to be using a key of C harmonica. Let me quickly go through them. Alright, so we're going to use a key of C harmonica. I am not going to give you tab sheets. I'm not going to do anything written down. I'm not going to give you flashcards. This is quick and dirty, nasty, mean, well, I'll try to be friendly, blues harmonica. I don't want to make it too music school. You got to train your ears if you want to be a good harp player, quite frankly. And of course, it goes without saying that the guys who pioneered this, the Sonny Boy Williamsons, the James Cottons, the Little Walters and Big Walters, Sonny Terrys, all of those guys weren't reading music. They weren't reading notes. So you're going to listen to me. We're going to do it by ear, okay? Riff number 1. Now, what am I doing? What am I doing? Well, you may notice, first of all, we have a groove, a beat, and I would encourage you to tap your foot in that kind of a rhythm. Can you hear my foot? 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to start with the 2-hole draw, again on this key of C harmonica. If yours doesn't sound like that, of course you should make sure you're getting the inner part of the pucker. Not make a huge difference. Okay. So all it does is it uses the 2 draw and the 3 draw. But part of the process of learning harmonica is learning all of these kind of cool, weird, unexpected rhythmic things. It's not just about playing quarter notes and 8th notes and dotted 8th notes, but sometimes they're little rhythmic tricks, and that's part of the discipline of blues harmonica. So I'm trying to get you hooked with this riff. So really what I'm doing is I'm going 2 draw, 3 draw, and then 2 draw twice, and I'm holding that last 2 draw, the 4th note that I play. I'm doing something else with that 4th note, which is I'm hitting my tongue on the roof of my mouth quickly, a little throwaway kind of tongued thing to give you when I'm doing a repeated note. So that's one of the first lessons to learn, is that when you're moving from hole to hole, you don't have to tongue each time. So let's just start with that. Let's just go 2, 2, 3, 2. Can you do that much? 2, 3, 2. So the first challenge for you is going to be to make sure that each of those notes is distinct. I don't want to hear So that's the discipline. That's like why we do this lick, is to teach you to move quickly, 1 hole up and then right back down. And then we're going to add 1 more note. We're going to hit that 2-hole draw a final time. And we're hitting it kind of early. We're actually hitting it before the beat. If I'd hit it on the beat, it would go. Can you hear the difference? It doesn't sound as hip. No, we're going to hit it a little earlier than that, and then we're going to hold it into the beat. Good. That is riff number 1. I have no name for it. John Gindick names his lick, Sunshine Lick. No, not mine. All right. Number 2 is a triplet lick. Going to be a little tricky if you're a beginner. It does not require bending. So we're going to do it slow. I'll do it slow. I'll do it regular speed once, and then I'll slow it way down and I'll tell you what I'm doing. So regular speed would be So I'll slow it down. Now this is incredibly useful if you want to do Sonny Terry style stuff. Sonny uses that kind of stuff a lot. So what am I doing? What are we doing? Two triplets, two back-to-back triplets followed by a long note. First triplet is 3 draw, 4 draw, 5 blow. Try it again. That's the first triplet. The second triplet, 5 draw, 4 draw, 5 blow. None of these make sense as sort of if we stop in the middle. The whole riff makes sense when you follow through on it. So that's the first 6 notes. And then there's a whole lot of 5 blow in there, isn't there? So that's the 6 notes. What are they? 3 draw, 4 draw, 5 blow, then 5 draw, 4 draw, 5 blow. Write that down if you want to. I'm just telling you out loud. And then the final note is a 4 draw, and we're going to hold it. I'm going to hold it. And then breathe out and keep tapping your foot. So this is a nice tempo. So I think what this lick is going to do for you is going to kind of twist your mind up a little bit. It's going to get you, it's going to introduce you to the idea that there are these triplet licks that do interesting things, that repeat a couple of notes, and suddenly you end up in a really interesting place. And it sort of ends up holding on that 4 draw. So how would well, I don't want to talk about how I'd use this, but it's a really useful riff. So if I want to play in a kind of triplet groove at that kind of shuffle tempo, this is a really useful riff. Okay. Good. Third riff. The third riff, well, I love this because it's a way, even if you can't bend the 3 draw in a bluesy way, bend it down a little, you can still have a really nice sounding riff. So what is this riff? So that's the first part. We're going to add a chord thing at the end. And actually, this is sort of a very simplified version of a song that I recorded called Buford Chapel Breakdown. Buford Chapel Breakdown. That's my son playing flute in the background. So what am I doing? Well, here again, you can do these notes individually, but it probably never occurred to you to phrase them and repeat them in that way. Hold on. So I'm mostly moving between 3 draw and 2 draw with 1-2 blow sort of towards the end. Three, 3, 2, 3, 3, 2, then blow, 2. So everything is draw except for that 1 blow. Can you find those notes on your harp? Now the interesting thing is, when do you tongue? Well, if I didn't tongue anything, I could do it with my diaphragm. I could stop my breathing, right? Sort of use my diaphragm, but it's much crisper when you use your tongue lightly on the roof of your mouth. So actually, I'm using the tongue on the 3 draw, but when I slide to the 2, I don't need it. Does that make sense? So I used it on the first 2 notes, and then I slid to the 2, did it again on the 3, but never on the 2. Not when I draw, not when I blow. Can you get that much? Let's see if you can. I want to hear. Come on. If you can't do, if you don't have enough presence of mind to do the notes and also figure out which ones you should be tonguing, then don't worry about that at first. But that's definitely something to keep in mind. Is the optimal the optimal number of tongues, if that sounds weird. The optimal frequency of tonguing. Now, if you know how to bend, if you're sort of a more advanced beginner, you could bend a little bit on the 3. Uh-oh, that was getting into slightly different territory there. So now we're going to add the chords behind it. What did I do there? This is like verging into advanced beginner kind of territory. Guys, I think that part may be too hard for you. I just don't know if I know how to teach you how to do that. I'm just using the 1, 2, 3 chord. Can you hear what I'm doing there? As I move from the final note of the single note riff. That's the way to practice it, would be to just start with the 2 draw, the final 2 draw of the single note riff. See, that by itself's not that hard. The timing of the final chord's a little tricky. So I would start with that, 2 draw, and then I'm relaxing my lips, getting 1, 2, 3 draw, and doing da-da, pulling the air in through my mouth, and touching my tongue lightly to the roof of my mouth as I do the chords. As I do the second chord, that's where I'm tonguing the chord. Those were both tongued. Ta-ta. Can you do that? Ta-ta. And that's tongued. I think you can do that. I think you can do that. But then segueing back into the original single note riff's a little tricky. Let's try to do this twice. This is how it sounds. Man, I don't know. That could be a little more than beginning blues harmonica player licks. I might have messed up there. Okay, got 2 more to go. Let's go. Number 4, well, now here's where we're moving from straight up beginner stuff to advanced beginner, because you need to know how to bend. And this video is not going to be to teach you how to bend. Just put Gussow bending into YouTube and you'll find that I have lots of videos that talk about how to bend. You need to know how to bend the 4 draw, which is the first one we normally would bend. And it's a 4-note riff. This is a beginner riff, but you've got to have that bend. And we're going to go 4 draw, bend, 4 draw, then 4 draw, bend, and then 3 draw, and then 2 draw. So that you're going to be tapping your foot. And notice that the timing of the notes relative to the beat. That 4th note is just before the downbeat. Right, because we've got the 1st and the 3rd notes are on the beat. And if you're going to do this riff repeatedly, you do need to breathe air out, because after all, the riff is all in notes. It's all in notes. Again, 4-draw bend. If you can't bend, YouTube search Gussow bending. And then 3-draw and 2-draw. The challenge here is not just to get the bend nice and smooth and quick, to release the bend the moment you move from bent 4 to unbent 3, and to move smoothly down 4 bend, 3-draw, 2-draw. Okay, that's the challenge. All right, finally we're on our 5th and final riff. This is a great one. I tried to make it something you could play repeatedly. It's not always played exactly like this, but the 3-note pattern, it's really important. One of the first things I learned, actually, but it takes a while to really lock it in. And again, you have to have the 4-draw bend in order to do this one. So it's a repeated version of those 3 notes as a triplet. And you could do these ad infinitum. You could do them forever. Until you run out of breath, because it's all in notes. But what I did was say, let's just do 2 of those, and then just do a 4-draw. Or actually, so the 3rd, we're doing it twice. Bent 4-draw, release it, play 5-draw. Those 3 notes, do it twice. Now notice, this requires that you hit the 4-draw with a bend on it when you hit it. That's not easy for beginners, so that's why I sort of give you this. And we want a repeated riff that we can do with some space so that you can breathe air out, because after all, everything is draw notes. Let me just call your attention to one slight variation in the way you do that last note. You can do it one of 2 ways. You can do it without a scoop or with a scoop. What do I mean? Well, here's without a scoop. We're talking about the last long 4-draw. So that, here the note is just, I'm hitting it straight. If I want to scoop it, I'm actually hitting it with a slight bend that I release into the unbent note. That's a scoop. If you can't bend that well, it may be tough to kind of put that little spin on it. Oh my goodness! Just had a red bird, as we call them down here. A cardinal just kind of came to the window. We're done. We're done. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please, like the video. If you don't like the video, absolutely give me a thumbs down and hate on me, okay? But I hope you liked it. Feel free to subscribe to this channel. I'm back online after being offline for a little while, and make a point of going out and finding the documentary by my longtime blues duo, Satan and Adam. It's not hard to find. Okay, and make a visit to Modern Blues Harmonica, my website, if you would. Okay, guys, that's all for now. I'll see you down the road. Bye-bye.